increasing number of parents using those tracking devices to keep tabs on kids that are too young to track on a smartphone.
Yeah, royal couple Mike and Zara Tindall recently made headlines when their 10-year-old daughter Maya was spotted wearing one of those tags over the weekend.
Yeah, so is it OK? Is it right? Should you be doing it? We are putting that question to mums Rosey and Ruth in just a moment. But first, Alice Beer is here. So, Alice, hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Tell us about these tracking devices.
Yeah, so what are they? How do they work? Well, whether it be your toddler, your teenager, your handbag, your keys, your pet, your car, your suitcase...
Luggage. They're all luggage, aren't they? They were originally designed.
Yes, right? Luggage, and they're great for luggage. I always have one in my suitcase, and even if the airline tells me that it's stuck in Greece and I can see it's in Heathrow Airport, I can stand there and stamp my foot and say, I know it's in Heathrow Airport. There are reasons why you want to know where something that's precious to you is at any one time. There's two main parts, so two main types, really. So you've got the Apple AirTag and the Galaxy equivalent, which is a smart tag. These are about £35 to £40 each. They're really simple to set up. Basically, these are locators and not trackers. So the Apple AirTag will rely on other people being around me who have Apple devices. It will bounce off them, send an encrypted signal up to the cloud, and then I can tell where it is.
So is it roughly where it is? Not exactly precisely where it is,
It depends how many devices are around it. It depends also if you're then in line of sight. So I've left one in my handbag down in the makeup room.
Oh, that'll be gone.
You can see. Yeah, exactly. Let's just annoy them. I'm going to play a sound. So down in the makeup room, they're all going, what's that? Whose is that? Where's that going? So you can find something. So if I don't know where my handbag is or where my, I've left my keys or whatever, you can do that. And lots of devices now are being sold that you can then slot these into and attach it to things. So you can find your keys. Exactly. But they are not tracking devices because there's all sorts of laws that go with tracking. And Apple are very, very specific about that. It's not a tracking device. It's a locator. This is a GPS. This is one example of many, many GPS devices. These will rely on global positioning systems, bouncing off satellites. You're probably going to need a SIM and a monthly contract, but these have much more capability. They will track. You can set zones. So if your child leaves the school zone or the home zone, you will get an alert on your phone. So there's a whole range of complications, things that you can get, devices you can get for different reasons. But these very useful things.
Thank you, Alice.
That's so incredible. Well, we're going to talk to two mummies now who, one agrees to tracking and the other one doesn't agree.
Yeah, Ruth and Rosey, good to have you both with us.
Hi.
Ruth, start with you. You're a fan, right?
I am a fan,
OK, so give us your reasons and how does it work for you?
Right, so we have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old.
So
for us, it's... yeah, it's a lot. And they're totally opposite personalities. So the oldest is a little bit more anxious, the little one is a runner. She's, like, so confident, she disappears in the blink of an eye.
She does her own thing.
She does, yeah. So we actually use it as a safety device. So we don't use it every day, and it's a locator rather than a tracker, and we use it when we go somewhere super busy, somewhere new, somewhere where there's lots going on, where, no one likes to think it might happen, but if we got separated, it means that we could hopefully locate them very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that hopefully, if it ever did happen, touch wood it hasn't, that we could, we've got...
Touch wood.
We've got the data, right there. It helps us make a really quick, good decision on what to do, which direction to go in. So we use it very much as part of our parenting kind of toolkit and to hopefully keep our children a little bit safer when we're out and about.
So is it on your mobile phone you can see exactly where they are, at what time and stuff like that?
So, like I say, we don't have it on them all the time. It's really when we're going somewhere specific, then we'll tell them, you've got it on you. So rather than having to give them lots and lots of instructions to say, if you get lost, do this, do that, do the other, we just say, find a safe space and stay still and we'll find you. And certainly for my older child, that works really well for him because he's like, OK, that's one thing to remember because he can get quite anxious. And so for him, stay still, we'll find you is a really kind of comforting instruction for him. So, yeah, we feel really positive about them.
Rosey, you're probably on the opposite spectrum. What's your take on these tracking devices?
I can completely understand why parents want peace of mind, but I think we need to think about the long-term implications of children's trust and independence and teaching them to be streetwise and look after themselves and understand danger. And also there are some ethical implications around data and consent as well.
So in terms of kids, I mean, I guess the next question is for both of you, do you ever have you ever done it and just not told your child that you'd just stick it in the bag or the backpack or the pocket or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Because I guess they don't need to know too much, do they? It's just more for your peace of mind than anything else.
It is, but, you know, even at 3 years old, you know, my daughter, it's impossible to put something on her without her knowing about it. She's like, oh, shiny, shiny. You know, she's a real kind of magpie.
Swallow it.
Yeah. It's like, don't touch it. Oh, I touched it. So, yeah, so we always tell them, We would never kind of do something like that without making sure they understood that it was attached to them somehow. However, we do put it where she can't reach it, so we might pin it into a hood, zip it into a pocket. We're quite clear that it's not a toy. Yeah. And then we tell them they're wearing it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable putting it on them without telling them.
I guess the question is, as a young kid, Rosey, you're probably not going to even, really care that much about it. But as you get older, is that your concern?
I think at all ages, children are more perceptive than we give them credit for, and you can instil fear around the world. The world actually, the modern world, statistically, is actually safer than it's ever been. And to give them the idea that we should be under constant surveillance to keep us safe is a total false sense of security. If something dangerous is going to happen, it's going to happen. The best thing we can do is empower our children with information on how to keep themselves safe, how to trust their gut in dangerous or tricky situations.
That's a really good point, actually, because, if you was in a dangerous situation, your child might think, oh, I've got to stay here in this situation and wait for somebody to get help. You've got to train your kids in order to know, do you know what, maybe this is a time where you need to run. This is a moment where you need to run. Know your gut and know your instincts.
Yeah, we often teach our children to sit still and be quiet, but actually in a dangerous situation, the best thing your child can do is shout and say, no, I don't like that, stop, and run away.
Do you know what? I've just realised I'm still tracking my 19-year-old. He's, you know, you've got Find a Friend on your phone. So I've got it on him and he's got it on me, and I just like seeing it. I know he's in Ibiza at the moment. I like to see when he's back at the hotel.
You have an incredible bond, though, don't you?
Yeah, well, I just want to know that he's
also,
OK.
He wants that too, right?
Yeah, well, he loves it. He likes to know, instead of having to phone... Well, he likes phoning me as well, but he likes to know I've got to the hotel OK.
I was going to say, this works both ways. You think you're tracking him, he thinks, actually, I'm tracking my mum.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I phone up and go, what are you doing there? And I go, none of your business.
I guess it's
what are you doing at Dermot's house? None of your business.
I guess, this will evolve for you as well, won't it?
It will, yeah, and that's the thing. We'll keep evaluating it. For now, our children are really young. It doesn't bother them. I think, actually, like I say, because our eldest is a little bit anxious, it gives him a bit of trust that we've got his back. Yeah. We would never rely on it 100%, ever. Yeah. It's just an extra layer of peace of mind, a little bit, that if the worst ever happened, you know, we could look at it in the moment.
I think what we all agree on is there's no right or wrong.
No, there really isn't.
One day you can be doing something thinking you're smashing it, and the next day it's like, what are you putting this on me for? But what's the reaction been from schools for both of you?
It's not something so they don't wear them to school or nursery or anything like that. It's very much for family time. It's for social occasions. It's for places where, like I say, we'd love to take them to a festival. Terrifies me at the moment, but actually...
Get a walkie-talkie. Yeah. I love a walkie-talkie.
I'm like, you know, I've got a runner. And when you've got a runner, man, you're like...
It's like...
Boom.
Yeah, and honestly, it takes the blink of an eye for something like that to happen, or going through a busy airport where you're really distracted by screens and luggage.
We get it.
Yeah, there isn't a right or wrong, and we have the conversation, certainly with the eldest, about what to do in scenarios. He's well equipped, but this is just that extra level of peace of mind for me and my husband more than anything.
Thanks, both of you.
Rosey, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.